All right. Hey, welcome everyone. This is episode 3 of the Slick Track podcast. I'm here with my good friend Colton. This is episode 3 already, and we still have yet to get any dirt car racing yet. What's going
I
on,
know.
Colton?
Yeah, we're getting gypped.
Yeah, the All-Star Circuit of Champions. I think they had a rain out last week at in Georgia, and I
Yep.
just got a notification today that I think today washed out all the stuff that was going to happen at Volusia.
Yep. Yeah, rain, go away. Typical Florida in February.
Yeah, I just want to watch some racing, honestly, and this is the closest thing that I can get. I have all the subscriptions and everything, but we still have yet to get to see any racing yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's definitely like I don't know, almost like a playing like a cat toy or something. Like we just get so close and it gets ripped away from us.
Yeah, we wrote the show sheet. I'm like, man, we're gonna get to see some racing tonight, and then got notification, oh, there's some rain in the area. So hopefully tomorrow we got some stuff. We got All-Star Circuit of Champions and Dirt Car UMP Modifieds these next couple of days, and then the big thing, the World of Outlaws also start their season opener at Volusia. So there's a lot of racing happening down there at the Dirt Car Nationals.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I really do like how early they start their season and they try to jam as much shit together as they can. So, I mean, I'm really stoked to not only see the World Outlaws started, but the All-Star Circuit Champions and the Modifieds. This is kind of the official start of the season. So I'm really glad that they do it this week. It's like their own version of Speed Weeks, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also nice that they're both doing the All-Star Circuit of Champions and World of Outlaws at the same place, because you're going to see a bunch of World of Outlaw guys running the All-Stars, and you're going to see the All-Star guys running in the World of Outlaws events, and I think it's just going to put on for a really good show. Kind of wish I lived in Florida right now, but
Yeah.
one day I'll make it down there for the Dirt Car Nationals. But I guess let's just get into this here. So we'll mainly focus a little bit more on the World of Outlaws here. So last year's winners, we had Brad Sweet winning, Logan Schuchart won the Big Gator, and Carson Cito won in their trip in March. So what are your thoughts heading into their season opener?
I am looking for the guy we had on last week, Logan Schuchart, to keep riding that momentum that he had at the end of the season. He won the Big Gator last year, so we know he can get it done at Volusia. I'm hoping he can ride that wave in. He is my pick for the championship this year. I recently changed it from the Big Cat to Logan Schuchart just because I do think he's got a ton of momentum, and he made some great points that they were going to clean up some of those DNFs that he had kind of in the middle of the year last year, and hopefully bring home that title. So this is where it starts right here. Logan Schuchart's going to be your winner.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. I know there's some all-star guys racing. I think Tyler Courtney is going to be there. Corey Elliott, Elias, how do you pronounce that? Eliason? Eliason, Justin Peck, and Kerry Madsen, I think, are all going to be racing there.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I did see quite a bit of those guys in the Chili Bowl, which is how I first learned their names before I was really following any World Outlaws or Circuit Champions. So to see some familiar names in there is going to be super cool.
Yeah, and then for me, I got some PA Posse boys going down there. Brent Marks making the trip down. Danny Dietrich's making the trip down. So it'll be kind of interesting to see the PA boys go at it down there.
Yeah, Brent Marks is your guy, isn't he?
He is. He reposts all the stuff I make. I make a bunch of graphics and stuff for him, and he's always reposted. I think for the new year, he posted one of the graphics I made, and it's just kind of cool seeing that guy repost all that stuff out there.
Yeah, got to get him on here.
So, yeah, we should. I think I'll have to reach out for him, but he's doing a lot of races this year between the All-Stars and World of Outlaws, so he hasn't really committed to like a full-time schedule with anyone, but I think he's just after trophy hunting, I guess.
Yeah. Well, this week he's gator hunting.
He is gator hunting. That's going to be the big thing. I think some other wild cards I saw, Brian Brown, Aaron Reitzel, Gio Celsi is going to be racing. So those three are wild cards that you'll probably see throughout the season at any type of big event. But I think, like you said, with speed weeks, like Dirt Car National Speed Weeks, basically you're getting all the best drivers in the world coming down to kick off the season.
Yeah, and this will be I see you have in the notes here that Sheldon Haudenschild got his first win there in 2018.
He did.
And then Donnie Schatz has won everything about 12 times.
Yes, and I think Donnie Schatz, did you see Donnie Schatz's scheme for the year? Let's bring back the yellow scheme.
Yeah.
I've been seeing all the sprint car guys releasing their schemes for the year, and it just got me more excited. This is like my first season watching all this, so it's kind of cool. I've been able to keep up in the off season, getting all the preseason hype. Like, I mean, I've always gone into the preseason hype with NASCAR and stuff, but it's just kind of cool seeing all the new schemes. I know they just did the Dirt Vision Media Day with the World of Outlaw guys. I saw those pictures and just ready for the season to start.
I know. Yeah, we've been teased long enough. I got to go a little bit longer just because of the rain, but I'm super stoked to see it get underway.
It kind of just doesn't even feel real, like we wait all these months. Like we just had NASCAR this weekend. Like, wow, we waited all this time, and now it's there. It happened. It's done. But dirt cars coming. We just keep getting teased by rain. I was planning my weekend last weekend to watch some All-Star races, but that didn't. That obviously didn't work out. But as I even mentioned with NASCAR, we got some NASCAR boys racing this weekend. Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman are both going to be down in Florida this week. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, man. Larson's one to watch anytime he gets in any car, let alone a sprint car where he just seems to whoop ass damn near every time he gets in one. Bowman isn't really on my radar as far as guys that I think can win it. I think he'll run good, but I don't really see him as a threat to win it. But it is cool to see them branch out because they will bring more eyes to it. If anything, just the people in the stands saying, hey, there's Alex Bowman. I know who that is. So that is cool. I do like that they do the crossover, and we've seen it before with Larson and with Tony Stewart and guys like that, Jason Leffler. But it is cool to see some of those Hendrick drivers finally getting out and doing it.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how those guys do. Like you said, like Kyle Larson's always one to watch, no matter where he races, what he races. You can probably give him a lawnmower, and he'll probably be the first one to finish mowing his grass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
So you already said your pick's Logan Schuchart for this week to win the Big Gator again?
Yeah, I was a little premature in my pick, but that's how confident I am.
Back to back, I see. I think he won last year, like we said. What about All-Star Circuit Champions? Who do you think is going to come out on top there?
Tyler Courtney's my guy in the All-Star Circuit of Champions. So as much as I want to pick him, he is the reigning champ even. I'm going to go with Kerry Madsen.
Oh, that's you kind of stole my pick. I was actually going to
say
Kerry Madsen because he won it. I think he won at Port Royal last year.
Mm-hmm.
I got to learn his name a little bit last year, getting into it, and that's actually who I was going to pick. I'm like, you know what? I could see Kerry Madsen going down there and winning. But yeah, those are our picks. We got Logan Schuchart and Kerry Madsen for your picks. I'm going to go with it's between either Donnie Schatz and Kyle Larson is what I was going to think. I think Donnie Schatz might start the year off just to know that, hey, I'm still here. I know he's always good, but I think maybe he'll kick off the season getting back to win the Gator. That's going to be my pick.
All right. Good one. Now, Circuit of Champions, since I stole yours.
I guess since you stole that, I'm going to steal your guy. I'm going to go with Tyler Courtney. He's going to just pick up right where he left off. He's going to get that NOS Energy Drink car in victory lane, and we'll start the season off the win.
Yeah. I mean, he's always one to watch. I mean, he's coming off a championship. He is still the reigning champ at Volusia. Man, I'm really hoping Kerry Madsen pulls one out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'm hyped to watch that. We'll see what the schedule is coming out here soon. I'm sure I haven't checked recently. I just know that I think today's washed out, and I guess we'll see how this week goes. Hopefully, there's no more rain this weekend because I do want to finally see some World of Outlaws racing. This is my rookie season watching. I think I'm going to claim that as my rookie year since I only watch from about July to the end of the year. So first full season for me, and I'm excited to keep up with it this year.
Yeah, first full season for me as well. Actually, attentively watching. I've always kind of followed it the last few years, but I haven't actually just sat down beginning to end of the season and followed it.
Yeah, that's what I did. I had to go kind of back to my childhood days where I'd like watch all the NASCAR practices, qualifying, learn all the names, learn all the backstories. And the good thing with Dirt Vision is I was able to do that. I watch all the hot laps, the qualifying, the heat races, last chance qualifiers, all that stuff. And I just started to get used to the names and learn all the backgrounds, where everyone's from. I always think it's cool how they introduce the guys and then like their hometown because, in NASCAR, they kind of do that, but they don't really like emphasize it. Whereas in sprint cars, they always emphasize like, Sheldon Haudenschild's from Wooster, Ohio. Like, I know that stuff. Some of the guys in NASCAR, I still don't know where everyone's from. Like, I know where these guys are at.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that the World Outlaws do is kind of capitalize on, like the PA posse. They kind of group all those guys together and make sure that where they're from. whether it be Pennsylvania, Indiana, what have you. That is one thing I wish NASCAR would get a little bit more into.
Yeah, it's also cool whenever they go. Oh yeah, Rico Abreu, let's go.
Yeah, Rico's full time this year.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that a little bit. So I kind of had this episode planned out as doing like a little season preview of the World of Outlaws, since that's a little bit more of the well-known series. Like nothing against the All-Star Circuit Champions, I've just gotten more into the World of Outlaws in the last year. So kind of put together a little season preview. I know we'll just start off last year's win leaders. Brad Sweet won 16. David Gravel, Carson Macedo each won 11. Sheldon had 8 wins, and Logan Schuchart had 7.
Ooh.
So, yeah, what are your kind of expectations you have this year? You think we're going to see like those top 5 guys basically winning a lot this year? You think you're going to see any different names in that top 5 that I had?
As far as the top 5 winners, probably not. I think we see a lot of the same guys. I mean, you're looking at the 6 guys or 5 of the 6 guys who ran 77 events last year. So, I mean, consistency in starts is probably going to be the big thing. Larson may be the only one I see we change into there if we're including all of his that he may run this year. I do see, as much as I hate to say it, I think we see Brad Sweet get 20 wins this year.
Okay.
Break into that 20-win barrier. I think we see Schuchart drop or jump up above 7, probably into double digits. Well, that means a couple other guys are going to fall down. I'm not really sure as far as who's going to drop out of there, but I do think we see a 20-win season out of Brad Sweet. And same with Schuchart. I think he hits double-digit wins this year.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about sprint car racing is like they go to so many different races that there's always a chance for like a surprise winner. I know like Dave Blaney won a race last year. He just randomly came out and was like, "Hey, I'm going to race at Sharon Speedway and I'm going to go out and win the race." So hopefully we see some more of those guys. Maybe Tony Stewart will make a race this year. I think he raced at Port Royal for the All-Stars last year, so I'm hoping to see maybe him race. I'd like to see. I doubt Dave Blaney will come to PA, but it'd be kind of cool to see. I'm planning on trying to go to a bunch of the PA races I can this year.
What about you? What do you think about the top 5 winners? Are you going to see anyone drop off?
I kind of think I'm expecting it to be probably about close to the same. I don't know if Brad Sweet will get 20 wins, although he very well might. I know towards the end of the season he wasn't winning as much because I know guys like David Gravel was starting to do good. Logan Schuchart was picking up some wins there. I think we at least see them all in double digits. I still see Brad Sweet in double digits, Dave Gravel in double digits, see Carson Macedo in double digits. I think the top 5 that I listed I could see in double digits. I think it's going to be a really competitive field this year, so I could at least see everyone getting that I listed there with Sweet, Gravel, Macedo, Haudenschild, and Schuchart all at least in 10 wins this year.
Yeah, and that is a good thing about World Outlaws. They run so many races; it's pretty easy to pick up a good 5 or 6 of them just throughout the course of the year.
Yes, even some of the notable changes here. There wasn't really much movement in the off season. We know we added some rookies, but I guess we can say some of the notable changes is we got James McFadden's moving over to Roth Motorsports, and Casey Kane is going to be one of the Rookie of the Year contenders, taking over that 9 car. What do you think about the change with McFadden going over to Roth?
I'm indifferent about it. I mean, it is going to be a little bit weird seeing him in a different car, but I mean, we'll see how he does.
Yeah, I got used to him driving that 9 Carvana car last year, but
yeah,
I guess the move to Roth kind of made sense there. I mean, Casey Kane raced there for that team the later half of the season. I think he must have kind of put in a good word or something for him. I know Roth's been kind of moving around, shuffling drivers over the last couple of years, and I think that'll be a good fit for him. I feel like if Casey Kane had him race for his team, I think maybe the relationship Kane and Roth had, I think that might be a pretty good fit for him.
Yeah, it was at least nice enough for Casey Kane to figure out a ride for the driver he's going to kick out to make room for himself.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Casey Kane this year? How do you think he's going to do in his first full-time Outlaw season?
I think he'll probably pick up a win or 2. He's still a really damn good race car driver, and it is going to be cool. The child in me is going to be excited seeing Casey Kane race again. I don't think he's going to blow the doors off anyone, especially because I just think he's going to be smart and put most of the team's resources when they can to Brad Sweet. Try to get yet another championship for him. But he'll probably nab a win or two.
Yeah, I can see that too. I think since he didn't really race. Obviously, he didn't race that dirt cars that much until like last season. He just like finally got into it more, and I think now that he got like half that, like probably at least a quarter of a season in, I think he's going to be ready to go this season, especially since he's going to have like 80 plus races to try to win. I think he definitely pulls off a couple, and it's also Casey Kane, so I think I could definitely see it with the experience that he has. He's definitely has it, and the equipment he's got. Obviously, I mean, his teammate Brad Sweets won the last 3 championships, so I think at least one of the races he's going to have to give himself the better equipment. You would think.
Yeah, or especially if he goes out kind of fast, there might be kind of a little shift in the focus of the team there. But it'll still be cool. Like I said, I agree with you. I think he's going to go out and nab a couple. He's still a damn good driver. It's weird seeing him be a Rookie of the Year contender, especially in something he's driven for the last 20 plus years.
Yeah, but other than that, on the off season, we kind of have like the same kind of lineup we got from last year. We got 14 full-time drivers this season. We got your regulars. We got Brad Sweet, Brock Zierfrost is back for his sophomore year. Carson Macedo's back. David Gravel's back. Donnie Schatz is back. Jacob Allen's back. Jason Sides is back. Craig Kinzer's back. Schuhart's back. Hoddenschild's back. So kind of got the familiar faces from last year. And then obviously we got a pretty good rookie class this year. Like I mentioned, we got Casey Kane racing, the 18-year-old from Oklahoma. No, is it Gas or Gase?
Let me look at how it's spelled here.
Gass.
I would say Gas.
Yeah, we got
we'll
Noah
find
Gas.
out here in a couple weeks.
Noah Gas is racing, and Spencer Baston's making the full-time move with CJB Motorsports.
He's probably the rookie I'm most excited to see. Just because I have watched him race for a couple years now. It's going to be really interesting to see what he can do on the World Outlaws.
That's what I was thinking, because I got to see Spencer Baston race at Port Royal, and he actually won the race, and that's kind of how I started to do some research on him. I'm like, all right, he's going full-time next year for Rookie of the Year, and I think he got 2 wins last year. He won at Attica Raceway Park in Port Royal, like I said, and those are 2 pretty tough tracks for a young guy. And I think, like you just said, I think he's one of the rookies that I'm looking forward to see race. So we'll just go straight to the point. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year? I
think Baston's going to get it. Casey Kane's going to be a really tough competitor. But I just see Baston being a little bit more consistent, being that he's been on dirt more consistently than Casey Kane has these last few years. I think he's going to be really tough to beat. I think he's going to nab more than just a couple wins. He'll probably get, 3 or 4 of them. I think it's almost going to be no competition, Spencer Baston.
Yeah, especially with CJB Motorsports. That's a pretty good team. I think Brent Marks raced for them beginning of last season or the year before that. I remember them racing, but I think that was a pretty good fit. And especially if you got 2 wins for him last year, I think that he's probably going to be a threat to win a couple races here and there.
Yeah.
There's also some other guys we can talk about too that are doing a hefty schedule. Gio Seltzi's doing about 60 plus races. Rico Abreu, like you said, he's doing, I don't think he's full time, but I think he's going to run a majority of the season. So that'll be kind of cool seeing him come over and racing more of the Outlaws. And then our guy from the Chili Bowl, Tanner Thorson, is going to be racing a lot this year, and he's hoping to go full time in 2023.
Yeah, he's definitely one to watch. Moving up. He's a damn good wheelman. He's probably going to be nabbing a couple wins, I would bet.
Yeah, I remember seeing him for the first time. Man, he's like a really good. Like I remember seeing him race for the first time. I think he was at I don't remember which race I watched at it. I'm like, oh, he's pretty good. And then I see sponsored by Rowdy Energy, so obviously I kind of got to have some biased rooting there. He had a pretty cool Chili Bowl scheme. I really like the shirts. I almost bought myself one of those.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have. I probably will. I've spent so much money on dirt merchandise, and it's probably not going to get any better now that everyone's starting to release their schemes, their new merch for the season. So I'm sure as the seasons go on, I will start to be spending more money on that stuff.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, then what else we'll get into some of the wild cards too. Like this year, that you obviously your Brent Marks is racing a lot. Brian Brown's going to be racing. Kyle Larson's probably going to be racing a bit. So what, like, overall with that lineup, do you think this is going to be a pretty competitive season with all these names trying to race with the Outlaws?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a super competitive year. Not only with your regulars and everyone kind of beefing up their arsenal, but the guys you have that aren't going to be full time and are just going to be falling in every once in a while. I think it's going to be super competitive. It is going to be hard for these regular guys to swipe a lot of wins. I still think they'll do it, but it is going to be a little bit tougher. You're not going to see as many guys just run away with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Just after getting into it last season and getting to know the names, and now I'm starting to know who all these guys are. I just keep seeing in the off season, like, oh, Rico Abreu's going to do a majority of the schedule, or Taryn Thorson's going to do the schedule. I'm like, man, this is going to be a really good season. I'm actually excited for my first year watching the whole way through. I'm really excited for this season.
Yeah, it'll be good. If only you could start.
Yeah. So that's pretty much like our little driver preview here. Let's kind of get into like our series and schedule notes I have written up. So the big news this off season was that the 2022 season will have a bigger payout this year. The champion's going to get $200,000, which is a $50,000 increase. What are your thoughts on that this season?
That's good. More money is always a good thing, especially in racing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of people battling for that top spot this year. And some of the schedule changes we got some interesting things added. Bakersfield Speedway's back for the first time since 2018. You know who the most recent winner there was?
Sheldon?
Yes, sir. He's the most recent winner. First time since 2018. So he'll be back there. Houston Speedway, the High Banks Nationals, which is $100,000 to win. It's now a 3-day event. The Bristol Bash is back. You excited for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dirt cars on Bristol are always cool.
Yeah, we got Tri-City Speedway in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. That's back for the first time since 2008.
Damn.
So that's on the schedule this year. Vado Speedway Park in New Mexico will finally make its debut. It was supposed to start in 2020, but COVID kind of pushed all that stuff back. So that's going to be a new track for everyone. Port Royal got added a summer date. Lernerville is not on the schedule, so the racetrack that I went to for the first time to see sprint cars will not be there, but that's all right. And the other news is they added another day at the Charlotte Dirt Track at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's cool that they keep adding dates to these bigger events. Man, Tri-City Speedway, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see some of these new tracks because, like I've been saying, I've got into it towards the end of the season. I kind of missed all the swings that they had early in the season. So I will definitely be tuning in to be able to see all these newer tracks, just get familiar with those tracks. And the cool thing about, like we always say with World of Outlaws, they kind of always combo their events with like the local series there. So that's going to be another cool thing to see, like the local guys from that area race. I'm excited to see that also.
Yeah, that is super cool how they do that. I always said that, especially NASCAR, we hate to tie the dirt podcast into NASCAR so much, but I think the lower series in NASCAR could really learn from the World Outlaws and how much they give back to the community in the attention that they do bring to their local shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they bring up a lot. Like whenever I went to Lernerville, it was a Tuesday night, so my mind thinking not ever going to one of these. Like I don't know how busy it's going to be. I go there and it's absolutely packed for a Tuesday night World of Outlaws race. I'm like, wow, there are so many people here. Like I'm up in the bleachers just squeezed in with people, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like I can't believe this many people like love this stuff. And then you go on like social media, and everyone knows like with our NASCAR, social media is never the best. Like I always go on World of Outlaws stuff. Like I never really see any like negative comments. Everyone's always like supporting each other, supporting whoever wins races. Like there's really no controversies you usually see.
Yeah, that's because they don't change the rules every year and a half.
Yeah. So, yep, that's pretty much like, I'm sure I probably missed some stuff. We got like over 80 races in 22 states this year. So, do you have any like thoughts on the schedule? Like anything you're excited for? Any certain date you're looking forward to?
Bristol's going to be a really cool one. I missed a lot of the action that went on there last year. I did watch a little bit of the modifieds, but I'm excited to actually sit down and watch some Bristol dirt racing. Tri-City Speedway, like I said, that's pretty damn cool. That track's getting added back on. Mm-hmm. And then other than that, I mean, Volusia, whenever it can start, it can go ahead anytime.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously, as being the Pennsylvania kid that I am, I'm definitely, of course, excited for all the PA races. And I'm glad they make so many different swings to Pennsylvania. Like there's the tour, and I think they have one in May that are going to be here. They're going to hit all the tracks. They'll hit like Port Royal, Williams Grove, and they'll be back in the summertime, Port Royal, Williams Grove, and then they'll be back in the fall whenever the National Open's happening, which is a huge event for the sprint car world.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be really exciting. Like we both said, our first time watching the full season. Yeah, hopefully they get started and we can have some actual content to talk about instead of just previewing for 3 straight shows.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just start wrapping this up a little bit. I got some predictions for us. So I guess we kind of talked on this. You said your rookie of the year is going to be Spencer Bayston. That's probably going to be my rookie of the year. Let's go into surprise of the year. Who's going to surprise you this year?
Rico Abreu is going to get 4 wins. That's going to be my big surprise.
Okay.
I mean, he is gonna run the majority of races, and he has won races at the Outlaws before. But I think he's going to go in and be a lot more competitive and compete for more wins than he has in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my surprise of the year, we kind of touched on it in our last one of our episodes. I think Sheldon Haudenschild is going to kind of get over the hump finally. I think he's going to be a little bit more consistent, and I think he might even try to contend for a title, because I remember when I was getting into it, he was always like running up front and always leading, caught a few wins, had a couple wins like in his reach, and then just had some bad luck there at the end. But I think he's going to get some more consistency, and I think I could see him winning 11, 12 races this year and maybe top 3 or 4 in points this year.
Yeah, he's definitely one. He's probably my favorite guy. I do like to see him do well, just because when I was a kid, Jack Haudenschild was one of the first people I learned about in sprint car racing. And I drink a lot of NOS. So
yeah, that's a fair statement. First time I saw Sheldon Haudenschild, he flipped at Lernerville, came back and finished 10th. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So that's how I picked my favorite driver. And he signed, I probably showed this on the other shows before, he signed my NOS key. And so that's...
Yeah, and you have the picture up there. You can't really see it. That's signed. You got me that one at Lernerville.
I did. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff at Lernerville. I got a bunch of hero cards, and now I'm just making my own hero cards. So that's pretty fun. So those are our surprises of the year. How about disappointments of the year? Are you going to see anyone that's going to be really disappointing that you had hope for?
That one's tough. No one really off the top of my head that I think is going to be super disappointing. Like I said, I think this is going to be a very competitive year. So it's really hard for me to pick a disappointment.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing, because you go to any race and they're like, man, any of these guys could have a fast car, or they could have I wanted to say like maybe James McFadden might have an off year, but then I said earlier, man, I think that's actually a good fit for him. And then like Logan Schuchard, I can't see him having a bad year. I can't see Johnny Schatz having a down year. I can't see Carson Macedo or David Gravel having a bad year. I can't even see Sheldon having a bad year. So I guess if you're not winning, but you're still winning, I think that's a good problem to have. At least you're competing for wins. So that is hard to kind of figure out. I just wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that one.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Most wins. Who's going to have the most wins this season?
I alluded to it earlier. Brad Sweet's going to get over 20.
I think Brad Sweet's going to get over 20. I want to say David Gravel might have the most wins, but it's also Brad Sweet. I feel like you can't really go against Brad Sweet. Whether he gets 20, I don't know if I'm going to commit to saying he gets 20. I think he gets at least 15. I think that's going to be my max for my over-under. I think he gets right about 15 this year, so that's my pick for the most wins. And champion, I think you already said who your champion prediction is this year.
Yep. Logan Schuchart's going to get it done on the 1S.
The 1S Shark Racing. He was our first guest, first World of Outlaws guest we ever had. So kudos to Logan. And I think I said it on on the Fan Fuel podcast. I think David Gravel is going to get the championship this year. He had a really strong second half of the season. All the races I was watching, he was always up front. He won a few races there towards the end of the year. He just ran strong. I think he's just going to go all for it this year. So I think David Gravel is going to be your champion. So those are kind of the those types of predictions. I also added in Crown Jewel predictions. We got 3 Crown Jewel races this year. We got the Kings Royal, Knoxville, and the National Open at Williams Grove. Who are your 3 winners for those?
I think Kyle Larson's going to get it done again at the Kings Royal. Williams Grove, I think we see Donnie Schatz take it. Knoxville. Logan Schuhart's going to get it done in Knoxville.
Okay.
That one's a tougher one to pick.
Yeah, it is a tough one. Let's see. I think Donnie Schatz gets Knoxville. He's been close like the last couple years. And National Open, I'm going to go David Gravel wins the National Open. Kings Royal, I am going to go with Sheldon Haudenschild is going to win Kings Royal at Eldora.
Yeah, damn good picks.
So those are, well, yeah, we'll have to clip these and see how close we are towards the end of the season. We'll have to do like a postseason recap and see if we're clowns or if we're like on spot and know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool to see the recap later. So that'll be like almost 9 months from now.
Yeah,
we get a long season with dirt car racing. And I guess I just kind of had to ask this question since I kind of have ties with this. PA Posse versus Outlaws. Who do you think is going to win that matchup this year?
I'm going to go with the PA Posse.
Right,
just because I know more of those drivers than I do the Outlaw drivers.
That's a good answer. I think we're going to see some Posse guys win a lot. I think Brent Marks is going to lead the way. I think he's going to get some wins for us, PA Posse boys, and see what happens there. I think their first race in Pennsylvania is, I think, in the April range. I think they're going to hit their little swing with Williams Grove. I think May. I think it might be May, actually. I know the All-Star Circuit of Champions is going to be in Port Royal in April, but I think the World of Outlaws is when they start hitting their tour in May. I think that'll be a nice little birthday present for me. I actually think there's a race on my birthday this year because my birthday's on a Friday.
Oh yeah.
You know where I'll be at.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for the season. I think that's pretty much all I got on our notes for today's show. Do you have any final thoughts to wrap the show up?
No, I wish it would get going, man. There's only so many times we can keep running previews before we eventually run out of shit to talk about.
Yeah, we've done like 3 preview shows already on this, and I'm just ready to. We can finally. Hopefully, there's some not controversy, but hopefully there's some like cool things we can talk about throughout the race. Anyway, maybe next week, do you want to try to hit maybe a late World of Outlaws late models or Lucas Oil late models? You want to hit some late model stuff next week? Because I think, like I said earlier in the show, I think they start their season next week. You'll get to see some of the World of Outlaws late models next week at Volusia, because the Dirt Car Nationals is a nice 2-week event for them to kick off the season.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Have to tag our buddy Rick Eschman on Twitter and see what he thinks about it. Yeah,
let's definitely get that going. We'll keep everyone posted here for next week's episode. We'll see what day we can work that out. But hey, thanks for watching the Slick Track podcast. This was a pretty good episode. Thanks for tuning in if you watched. And as always, thanks, Colton. And we're going to keep bringing the content. Hopefully the next episode we'll be able to actually do some recaps and preview the late models. But I think this is a pretty good starting point for us. What do you think?
Yeah, hell yeah. Excited to get it going.
Yep, I'm all good here. So thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep. See ya.